The Galactic Senate Hall was in chaos. Representatives from dozens of species argued, their voices merging into an incomprehensible roar of frustration, fear, and disbelief. At the center of the Grand Chamber, Supreme Speaker Xylox of the Zorvaxian Dominion struck his staff against the ground. The booming sound echoed, demanding silence. Enough. Xylox's voice vibrated through the air. We must address the most pressing issue of our time. The crowd fell into uneasy murmurs. Everyone knew what he was going to say. The very question that haunted their nightmares. Why do humans keep winning? Xylox's golden eyes scanned the room. The galaxy is terrified. We have thrown everything at them: superior fleets, advanced technology, centuries of strategic warfare, and yet, these primitives continue to emerge victorious. How? Silence hung in the air. No one had an answer. The Ralzoran delegate, a towering insectoid with glistening mandibles, clicked its pincers anxiously. Perhaps they are lucky? Lucky, scoffed Admiral Rether of the Krell Dominion, his reptilian scales shimmering under the Senate's artificial light. That would be believable if they won once or twice. But every war, every battle? No, this is not luck. This is something far worse. Xylox nodded gravely. We have underestimated the humans. Again and again. A holoscreen flickered to life, displaying images of past conflicts. The Battle of Sigma Prime, where a single human battleship had held off an entire Zorvaxian fleet. The Siege of Helios VE, where human ground forces had endured for months against overwhelming odds, refusing to surrender. The Skirmish of Nebula 46, where human pilots, outnumbered 5-1, had emerged victorious through unpredictable maneuvers. The evidence was undeniable. A nervous cough broke the silence. Senator Valnora of the Siltheri Confederacy, a graceful, translucent-skinned being, cleared her throat. We must acknowledge the truth. Humans possess something unnatural. They defy logic. They adapt. They evolve. And they do so at terrifying speeds. Xylox gestured toward his own aide, a young Zorvaxian officer who hesitated before stepping forward. Speak, Lieutenant. The officer gulped before addressing the Senate. I study human war reports extensively. Their soldiers endure pain beyond what should be biologically possible. Their pilots execute maneuvers that defy physics. Their engineers repair ships in conditions that should be lethal. And worst of all, he hesitated. They never give up, no matter the odds. The room fell into an uneasy silence. The Krell Admiral snorted. They must have some hidden advantage, perhaps stolen technology. Experimental bioenhancements? The Siltheri senator shook her head. No, we've scanned their bodies. They are biologically unimpressive compared to most of us. We live longer, we are stronger, we have superior senses, and yet they win. A new voice entered the discussion. Deep, measured, and full of quiet dread. Humans possess something no other species does. All eyes turned toward Grand Strategist Volkor of the Velith Collective, a mechanical race known for their cold logic. His glowing red optics flickered as he continued. They have willpower. A murmur spread across the Senate. Every species in this room understands war, Volkor continued. We fight for resources, territory, honor. But humans? They fight for something more. They fight for survival at a level we cannot comprehend. When a human soldier stands on the battlefield, they do not fight for themselves alone. They fight for their families, their homeworld, their species. They fight as if every battle is their last. The holoscreen shifted, showing footage from countless human victories. Injured soldiers dragging comrades to safety. Pilots flying into the heart of enemy fleets with no hesitation. Engineers patching up failing systems with nothing but scrap and sheer determination. They refuse to accept defeat, Volkor concluded, and that makes them the most dangerous force in the galaxy. Xylox exhaled slowly. Then what do we do? There was silence. The insectoid Ralzoran delegate trembled. We cannot fight them. If we do, we will lose, just like the others. The Krell Admiral growled. Are you suggesting we surrender? No. Xylox's voice was firm. We do not surrender. We do not attack. We use something far more difficult. He stood tall, his golden eyes glowing with resolve. We make peace. The room erupted into arguments, but deep down, every delegate knew the truth. If the galaxy was to survive, they had only one choice. They had to stop fighting humanity and start fearing them. Epilogue. Earth's perspective. On Earth, President Elaine Carter leaned back in her chair, watching the latest intelligence report with a small smile. Madam President, her advisor said hesitantly, the Galactic Senate is holding an emergency session about us. I know, she sipped her coffee. They're terrified, aren't they? Yes, ma'am. They can't understand how we keep winning. Elaine chuckled. That's because they've never had to fight like we have. They've never faced extinction, never struggled against their own planet just to survive. Every human civilization in history has been built on adversity. We were never the strongest, never the fastest, but we were always the ones who refused to die. The advisor nodded. So, what now? Elaine smirked. Now, we extend a hand of peace. And if they refuse? Her smile faded slightly, replaced by something colder. Then they learn what happens when you push humanity too far. The galaxy had been afraid before, but soon they would learn the true meaning of fear. The end.